lost track of what I was doing. Good afternoon, it's the Mosh Pit, CSHR Radio. I have too many buttons in here. Jeez. Now I can't even get the dang... Okay, there we go. Hey guys, how's everybody?
Hello!
Jackie said she didn't want us to stare at her ceiling anymore. That's what that's all about. She can't see the backstage video like we can. Oh. So she didn't know we were staring at her ceiling for like 10 minutes.
I mean, technically I did. I did know. I purposely left my phone in that position.
So like right before we go live, you know, she's like, oh crap, let me turn my camera off. I don't know if you see my ceilings. Oh, her ceilings are clean, by the way. You know, her ceilings are not dirty, but still.
I'm just paranoid. Okay.
About what? Your ceilings?
You never know. There might be that one stray spider that just scares everybody off the show for the rest of the night.
You know what's wild is that her ceilings are 8 foot tall, and they look like they're 12 feet high.
I mean, they're not. Yeah, they're about 8 feet.
I'm talking about the camera angle you have right now. It makes them look like they're 12 feet high.
Wait. There's my door. There's a door. There's a standard door frame, you guys. There you go. Height. I showed y'all my height.
Duck. I would have to duck to walk through that door. No, there's no spiders in the live stream, Hoey. What is wrong with you?
Here he goes.
Get back in here. Jeez.
I mentioned spiders once and you scare a whole man away.
And look, I didn't even change our background. What is wrong with me today?
Hey, at least you're not like at least it's not like the one time where we did a random happenings with an Herbalations background the whole time and didn't notice.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
You talking about last night? I saw it. I didn't know how to change nothing. What you want me to do?
Hey, it's fine. You did great last night, Max. You did phenomenal. Just saying, you did do great.
Max was the super producer last night because I had a prior engagement, so I couldn't be here.
So how did the gig go? Did it
was good.
Without a hitch?
Yeah, it was good. They had some pretty good crawfish there, and I didn't eat any, but it smelled good. You know, so just wasn't in the mood for crawfish last night. You know, so it is what it is. But I mean, the music was good. Nice weather.
The couple little clips you sent, it looked like the music was cool.
I only saw the one clip, and it was 4 seconds. It didn't count as anything because all I could hear was
busy. I didn't have time to really mud bugs. Yeah, well, I mean, technically that's what crawfish are. I mean, they're like miniature lobsters.
They're like miniature lobsters. They're freshwater lobsters, basically.
Yeah, I mean, technically that's what they are.
Scott experienced the bane of modern DJs last night. In today's time, if you don't get footage, it didn't happen.
Were those 2 videos you sent, Max? Were those your set, or was that just a preview?
I was working on it, and I because I kept making simple mistakes in the mix. So I was like, all right, I'll come back to it.
That's a Max thing. He like teases you for months, and then when he finally drops it, it's like I don't even want to listen to it anymore. He's been teasing me with it for so long now.
I promise y'all I can't jump a month with the mix because it's due on 420. So I got to get it cranked out in the next couple of days.
Okay, Hoey, let me explain something to you here.
Opinion.
Let me address this real quick, Hoey. People eat anything, it's wild. Yeah, because when you're starving, you'll try anything.
Yeah, that's how a lot of our delicacies got made was from people starving, like chowder. That's what chowder was. It was a poor person's dish that we now go, yum, 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 yum.
Same thing with brisket.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a trash cut of meat. You know?
And people pay loads of money to have a good brisket now.
I just pay good money to have good lamb.
And you see, that's something that's underrated too. A lot of people don't eat a lot of lamb. There's more sheep out there than there are cows.
Oh, not here. Lamb's expensive here.
Man, I've seen
okay, but here's the thing, Hoey. When you come from Nova Scotia and you're, like your entire family got booted out of Nova Scotia and you got to resettle somewhere, and you're used to eating things like lobsters because of, Nova Scotia. When you get down here and you see these little things that look like lobsters, but they're not really lobsters, but they look the same, what are you going to do? You're going to try it.
And Hoey, crawfish is not a bug.
Well,
it is not a bug.
Crustacean.
Yeah, exactly. It's a crustacean. It's not a bug. It is not a bug. Now, if you really want to ask any questions, start asking questions to the people that are crushing down crickets and making cricket flour and deciding that they're going to make Cheetos out of that. So when you buy your bag of Cheetos, you're eating crickets. Enjoy.
Cricket Cheetos.
Oh, and I thought watching people eat cockroaches in jail was gross. Oh no.
Dude, did anybody watch X Factor, or am I the only one that remembers X Factor?
No, I think you were the only one that watched it.
Fear Factor. There we go. X Factor is the stupid one with Britney Spears or Christina, whichever blonde bitch that was. I mean,
and it's I agree, because I look at it this way. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Anyway, I agree, because like the first time I watched it, I was like, I only watched it like a few minutes of one episode, because it was like, all right, so these people are stupid enough to let them get paid to eat bugs. Okay, y'all are just ridiculous.
I like how it progressed. It would start out with them like tightrope walking or something like that, or jumping into a giant pool of something or whatever, right? And then the last one, they'd be like, all right, now it's the food challenge. And you'd be like, oh, I don't even want to watch this, because it elevates from like hissing cockroaches to like tarantulas and like, yeah.
Well, yeah, Joe Rogan of all people standing there being shocked.
Hey, I'll never forget the one episode I watched where it was actually this small, tiny, petite little girl that beat everybody and won the show that day. Everybody else chickened out, but she grabbed that freaking millipede and she let it crawl all over.
Nice.
Oh, it was hard.
I never did. Okay, but he brought up the Joe Rogan thing. What's so special about Joe Rogan? I never understood that. He was never that funny of a comedian.
Theory guy.
I mean, he was never that funny of a stand-up comedian. And then all of a sudden, he was the host of some weird television show where people ate bugs, and now he's this famous podcast guy.
It's because he does conspiracy
How did that transition
theories.
happen? Conspiracy theories? Is that what it is?
It's basically what he does. Yeah, he does a lot of conspiracy theories. A lot of touchy subjects is like what he specializes in, which is why people do watch him, because he gets some people to come on his show and like basically like sell themselves out in a sense.
Modern pimping.
Modern pimping.
And I mean,
flying monkeys from space. What is that?
The only reason Joe Rogan stays famous is because people keep messing him up with Seth Rogen. That's all. It's the only reason.
He's the non-funny brother.
Joe is the one that just kind of got like stuck in a weird podcast.
It's a successful
Seth
version
does all
of
the
George
movies.
Rogan.
His hair fell out and he got famous. That's what happened.
He started hosting UMC fights. Or UFC or whatever they call it. UFC, UMC, whatever. Mixed martial arts. I didn't even see it. I mean, because I remember him being a regular stand-up, and every once in a while he would pop on like Comedy Central with one of his little stand-up specials, and I just didn't find him funny. I mean, I'm sure that's just an opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. I did not find him funny.
He got no chuckles out of me either.
I mean, everything just kind of fell flat. Every time you listen to him, it just was like, ugh, whatever.
Crickets.
I don't even know if it was so much crickets, to be honest with you. It was just more like all of these people laughing hysterically at stuff that didn't make any sense. You know, I mean, let's see, where are we at here?
Let's see. Hoey says he has a tiger joke that kills me.
Go ahead and pull this comment up.
Hoey, do us a favor. Share the joke because we have yet to hear anything funny from him.
He has a tiger.
Joe Rogan has a tiger?
Has a tiger joke.
And if it kills Hoey, it's got to be funny. So I'm dying to hear this myself.
I really hope this isn't going to be a Simple Minds, Simple Pleasures joke.
If it's going to
change my whole view of Hoey.
I mean, if it's taking him that long to type it, it might be scary.
Man.
All right, that's it. We're just send him a link. He can come and tell it live.
Hoey, you want to come tell a joke live?
I mean, to be frankly honest with you, I'd be interested to see Fear Factor get kicked back up again. I mean, people would be willing to do some pretty dumb things for money these days. What is optimal time to kick it back up?
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. We do have
look
people
at the lineup of people to watch Squid Games and like glorify the show that, like, if you really think about it, if you were in that situation, in that level of debt, and somebody came up to you and wanted you to come and join this game that could pay off your debt and then some, like put you in a new position in life, I mean, most of us would probably take it at this point. Look at all the money we drop in the lottery just to try to win a few million. Like, at the end of the day, what's 10 million really going to do for anybody? 10 million is not a lot of money anymore.
What do you mean? I could live off of $10 million for the rest of my life.
Not anymore. Like,
I
wouldn't even have to touch the principal.
I'm going to take 1 million of it to get my life together and to be able to live off of 1 million. Dead honest, I would live bare bones, basic as crap for about 4 years off of that 1 million, right? Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like 10 mil, I might be wrong there, but the 1 mil definitely isn't a lot.
9 million? I done took that 9 million in the bank and let it sit there for 5 years. Now I can play with that interest.
I mean, you could actually just set the interest up to deposit to your bank account like a direct deposit.
And
you would
that's
never
fair.
have to work again.
But let me lay it out for you this way, Max.
I would let the 5 million bust first. That way, like, you take that initial investment and start bubbling it.
You know what they say? Excuses are like, you know what?
But like, I see where you're coming from, Max. And I'm going to rechange that because 10 mil, yeah, you could be comfortable on 10 mil-ish. But if you only win the 1 million, like the 10 little 1 million prizes they give out with ours, like with one of the lotteries up here, you enter to win the big jackpot, but there's also like 10 max millions, so you get 1 million. Even here, like a decent 4-bedroom house, like if you want to get a decent 4-bedroom house, it's over $1 million for that house nowadays. Like 500,000 is getting you like a bunk ass 80s, 90s, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, single level house. You can't even buy a nice house for $1 million anymore.
On that, Canada, I mean, is probably different than over here in the States. In the States, off of 1 million, I'm honestly going to play it smart and go look at something that's already been foreclosed. I'm going to go buy something for the taxes. I'm gonna go drop that. Oh yeah, they took this and they owe taxes on it. Let me pay these taxes. Let me pay a quick $20,000. Go ahead.
And, you know, the funny thing about it is there's a lot of them out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a lot of them out there right now.
But that goes to show just what's wrong, though, is like you should be able to win $1 million, pay off your debt, buy a house, and be okay, and be able to be okay for a little bit. That's the dream that we were fed in like the mid 90s to the early 2000s. We were fed that $1 million is a lot of freaking money.
Just like they told my ancestors they was gonna give them 40 acres and a mule, and we still waiting for that.
Fair. That's what I mean. Like that's what's up with this. Like it's.
I mean, I get you live in Canada, but you describing the typical American dream. They sell it to us because it's just that, a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying you could get me to join one of those. You also got to factor in the fact
that Canadian money is not as, which I don't even know how this is possible anymore, but Canadian money is not worth as much as American money.
No, I think we're worth like what? Like, isn't it one of your dollars is like we pay like $1.50 or like $2 for one of your dollars now?
It's like $1.75 or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was getting Canadian close to $2 now for me to buy one American dollar.
Also, in other words, America running the prison scheme 2-for-1s.
Why when I tell you guys,
if you want to look at it that way, sure.
I'm gonna give you a box of Debbie's and you're gonna give me 2 boxes back.
When I did the math for how much 1 gallon of gas costs here, I never actually did the exchange rate either because we're paying $5.97 per gallon here because I converted the liters to American gallons, which is 3.97 liters to 1 gallon.
$5.97 your price?
Yeah.
$5.
I haven't even converted it to American yet when I did that on Hoey's post.
Well, see, right now where I'm at, it's like $3.50-ish a gallon, somewhere in that price range, give or take, plus minus anywhere from like 10 to 20 cents.
That's about what it is here.
So the day America get to talking about it's $5 a gallon, I'm getting back on pedaling a bike.
Well, I mean, that's California.
Everything's expensive out there. That's why I don't live out there.
I mean, it is California.
Hoey
said he had to find that joke. Hoey, are you okay? Are you okay out there? I mean, you said you had to go find that joke and then you just kind of like disappeared. Are you? Oh, now he's on inflation. He just completely sidestepped that joke.
Listen, I'm just saying with the cost of things now, you could get me to enter Squid Games. I would join. I'd do it. Or Fear Factor, for that matter. I would eat a cockroach.
I sent it to a chat. Why would you? We're live streaming here. Why would you send it to a chat?
To what chat?
We're
not even in a chat together.
To be on Fear Factor, I would have to take a heavy dose of psychedelics. I would have a heavy dose of psychedelics. Like that's the only way I'm eating some bugs. That's it.
It's more than a one-line thing. I think we've already tested the theory whether that works or not with Netsky because she posts like 4 or 5 paragraphs at a time. So I'm pretty sure it would work. But I mean, it's probably some long, drawn-out hipster joke that, you know, it'd be like, you know, some kind of weird punchline, existential punchline. You're going to have to put some thought into the joke to get it.
Just post the YouTube link in the comments and Scott can do his thing.
We will both find
It's probably... Come on now. If it's a good joke, you got to at least post a YouTube link, Hoey. Come on. Don't leave us hanging like that. That's just messed up, bruh.
Hoey. Hoey. Hoey.
You can do it.
Hoey.
You can do it.
You can
Today,
do it.
Junior.
He did. He posted it.
Ah, there it is.
Oh, you got it? Okay. All right.
No,
So let's This is the link right here. All right, so let's see if we can. No, of course it's not going to let me do it that way. Why would it? Stupid thing. So what I'm going to have to do is go to like that page that he's on to find it, and then like click on it because
because
things are stupid.
Yeah.
Not him.
Oh, we couldn't make it easy.
Well, of course not. He couldn't just like say the joke. I don't even know Howie, what page are you on? I'm sitting there looking at pages.
It won't let you copy paste?
Well, yeah, it will as soon as I figure out what page he's on.
Okay. Here, I'll send it into
Okay, there he is. I found him. I had to find him. There we go. I found it.
A CSHR production.
Can y'all hear it?
Not at all.
Nope.
Huh? Oh, y'all can't hear it? Okay, hang on. I'll fix that. Hang on. All right. Don't want that one. All right. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Red.
All right. Here goes.
That's why it pisses me off when I see him at the zoo. You ever go to the zoo and you see the chimps and you go, God damn, he wants to get out of there. I know he does. And people are in denial about that. You know, some people don't want to think that they need to get out. Some people are like, bro, I went by the zoo the other day. They look like they're having an awesome time. The swings. I'm like, yeah. Well, if you go to prison, you'll see dudes playing basketball. It doesn't mean it's awesome. You know? That looks like suck for everybody. That's fucking animal jail, dude. What is that? They didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Where's the title?
That's Monkeys in Space. I think he's got another one up there. Or another link. Let's see, what's the other link he's got in here? Why isn't it showing all of his comments?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is a CHSR production.
Oh, so he switched pages on me. He was on the CSHR radio. Can we kill him?
Yes.
Is that legal?
Skin him alive.
Cue outro music. Yeah, pretty much.
This is your fault,
He's not on that
Howie.
page. I've been on like all 3 pages and I can't find him. This is ridiculous.
Howie went into hiding.
See, Howie, all you're doing is highlighting why we are reformatting. We taking away 50 pages.
Okay, we're going to be fixing this problem.
It finally pulled up the right one. No, that's Monkeys in Space again. Why is it playing that again? I don't.
No more monkeys jumping in space.
Are we sure that it's not just that one? And because it was talking about a zoo, tigers are in zoos, but I mean, like, I was kind of not thinking he was going to get anywhere worthwhile with where he was going with that. I feel like Joe was trying to dig himself a hole that he was not going to get out of.
Was trying to. Bad, Howie. Bad.
Harsh is busy.
No, you can. Hobo, that is one word you can actually get away with typing into Facebook and it doesn't get you a ban. It's Howie. We've tested that theory and it does work. You can type Howie into Facebook and it's fine. It's about a tiger escaping.
They let Howie get his name off.
It didn't involve like Joe and Carol or anything, did it? Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
He went into hiding to get away from his, that's where Carol's husband went. He ran away from her.
I don't.
He was
to
alive.
Be honest with you,
he was alive.
I never watched that whole thing because it was just, I started seeing memes. I was like, all right, this is too ridiculous for me to even watch. And just from the clips that I've seen of Carol Baskin, I'm perfectly okay with the thought that he might have committed suicide.
See, I kept seeing the memes and all of that, and I was like, I probably don't even need to watch it because everybody's just talking about it. So I can just find out from everybody yakking too much on what's actually in this, right? But I didn't, so I was like, okay, I gotta watch it. So I watched it once, barely paid attention, made it to the end when they were finally talking about him going missing, and I was looking at everything all together. I was like, I bet you this guy just fled. Like, she's crazy, he's crazy. This whole situation is just retarded. And yeah, like, I guess I found out that like 6 months ago the guy came back. Apparently they did a second thing for the Tiger King. There was Tiger King 2 or something, and yeah, they found her husband. He was alive.
Wait, there was a Tiger King 2?
Yeah. I didn't bother watching that one, so I went and found a news article, and yeah, Carol's husband was alive, and they just left the Tiger King in jail for his other charges.
No, that can't be possible.
Yeah, he had to finish like 2 years or something like that. He had to do some for like threatening to kill Carol and stuff like that, and all of his other stuff, because he did do some questionable things and say some like really outrageous things, and it's like, dude, you can get charged for that. You can't just say you're gonna kill somebody.
Carol Baskins.
Sometimes Tobo says sometimes ending the relationship just isn't enough. Sometimes amputation is needed.
He fled he fled the country. He was gone.
Carol Baskins was crazy.
The second part was like life after Tiger King. He's still in jail for campaign fraud. What campaign was he fraudulent with? See, that's how much I followed it.
Tiger King tried to run for office.
Are you serious? What kind of office did he try to run for?
I want to say he tried to run for president.
And he committed campaign fraud?
I'm about positive like he tried to run.
I don't know all the way into that, but that's what I gathered from what I had read.
You see, Hobo is wrong for this because he knows he just got my wheels turning. A Tiger King, Lion King mashup.
I feel like somebody did, but there was a lot of like rip-off, like rap videos that people did to make fun of it. Because Tiger King, like Joe Exotic did do a music video or something, and everybody started ripping that off and making different music videos.
Yeah, we know it was in Oklahoma.
Or I think he tried to run for the governor, but it was like in 2018. Joe Exotic in 2018, he ran as a libertarian in the libertarian primary election. He had 18.7% of the votes. A total of 664 people voted for Joe Exotic.
I mean, if you look at the presidential election when Trump ran against, when Trump was running or whatever, Kanye West got a pretty decent amount of votes.
Oh, Kanye would have sold us out to the aliens or Kim.
You know, I kind of wish he wouldn't have done that, because then we might have not had all of these issues with election fraud claims everywhere, because one of those groups of people would have voted for one or the other.
Yeah.
So whatever swing voters that he pulled, you know, just would have solidified someone's results without all
That's
the
why
crap
they let
that
those
we're having to go through
run.
now.
Hey, Hobo.
That's why they let independents do it.
I can say a whole lot. I just don't like saying big words.
Libertarian.
I know that's why independent parties do set up here in Canada, and they know what they're doing, and they do it on purpose, and they're paid to do it because they'll throw the votes off.
Right. I mean, really and truthfully, they ought to do away with party systems, period.
It keeps us fighting with each other. Why would they
just
do that?
do away with the labels. Tell me what your ideas are, what you're running on, what your ideas for office are. Who gives a good goddamn whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I'll decide what your ideas, if they're good for me or not. And we can vote based on that. What's so hard about that?
You're asking a lot of things.
Well, it's not that big of an ask, though, if you think about it.
Have you seen the size of the brains of the people that run for these offices? Like, crap, our prime minister was a damn drama teacher.
Hey, and if that is true high end, they some progressive, smart thinking people. They was playing a long game.
Bernie Sanders was letting Canadians do cold calls for him. I know. I remember reading that.
Oh, my bad. Because it was in the comments, and I just said it. Like, yes, I can say libertarian.
I know how to say libertarian.
He didn't take it offensively.
I'm a libertarian. I'm a libertarian. Libertarian.
But I don't know what's funnier. The fact that he ran, or the fact that 18% of people that voted were dumb enough to cast a vote for him.
Are you really that surprised?
No.
No.
Okay, I was about to be like, wow, I thought I was sitting with people that noticed that, like, the smart ones are not the ones casting those votes. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, think about it. If he was running now for president,
I would
probably wind up voting for him.
I would cast a vote. Listen, I don't even vote, and I would vote for Joe Exotic just to vote for him.
Yeah, I would vote for him just because of the two choices that we have. We have a dementia patient and somebody that just thinks he's a dictator. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
I mean, what could be the worst that could happen now at this point?
Speaking of the orange-faced dictator, I'm going to give y'all a prediction right now. I'm going to call this right now. If he is successful at wiggling on this ballot and somehow bedazzles the public again and gets that office, watch how many people going to talk about this as the end times.
He is going to run, and he is allowed to run. We talked about that this morning because I was like, is he even allowed to run? And
yes.
Scott's like, you could be in jail and run.
Matter of fact,
no, he's not. He hasn't been convicted of anything.
Matter of fact, the Supreme Court, when they were issuing a decision, I think the decision came down like last month or something like that. But in a decision they issued, they basically told the state governments, like, listen, mind your business when it comes to these ballots. You are out of your jurisdiction. Stay in your place. He stays on the ballot.
I mean, the only thing that would take him off the ballot is if he actually got convicted of a crime.
That's why they want him convicted. They don't want him on that ballot.
Well, exactly. But then again, who's the lesser of two evils here? I mean, we have Joe that's in office right now that doesn't even remember whether he put his pants on that morning or not.
I bet you they all crying they didn't vote for Hillary.
Well, but that's the thing. What's the lesser of two evils? But the only thing that concerns me about him running is not how he's going to run the country, because I really don't believe he did that bad of a job the first go-around. That's not my concern. My concern is that he's not going to do right for the country, and the only thing he's going to do is gloat the entire term, like, I told you I was the one that was supposed to get voted in, blah, 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 blah. And he's just going to gloat the entire time instead of actually being a president.
He said it years ago. Republicans is the dumbest group of people to manipulate.
He also said in one of his earlier interviews that he never wanted, that people asked him if he'd ever run for government, and he said he wouldn't. He said he didn't want to be part of the government.
As a businessman,
and that's why the Supreme Court stepped in, because they were pulling him off the ballot for something that he's never been charged with. You know.
Yeah, because Trump's a terrorist. The only thing he does want, and that's the only thing that does make him a good candidate, is he does want to see the United States do well. That's his main goal at the end of the day, for as crazy and psychotic as he is, because if the country's doing well, he's doing well. a lot of his stocks, a lot of his money is in the American people and them spending money within that country.
Oh, he already got a seat at that table. That man already got a seat.
He's at that table.
You ain't seen
He's at that table. I mean,
he's been at that table for a hot minute.
Yeah, since the 80s. Even though he's went bankrupt several times, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a billionaire.
And
it may only be on paper, but he's still a billionaire.
You got to think about it, though. At the end of the day, sometimes in business, one of the smartest things you can do is make one company go bankrupt after it's going down. You know it's going down. Transfer your assets, buy yourself out, make that thing go bankrupt, and boom, you've recycled your money. Like or as corrupt and messed up as it is smart as all hell to keep your money where you want to keep it.
Okay, hello. I'll give you a good example. He wants Wall Street to do well. Why then are they just keep applauding themselves on having record profits month after month after month? The prices of everything is still going through the roof. People are starving to death out there. The economy is not doing as well as they say it is on paper. And our homeless population right here in the city of Baton Rouge has doubled in the last 2 months.
And
what exactly would Wall Street doing well? What is that going to do? They're doing great right now. They're doing great. The people who actually line those pockets are the ones that are hurting.
I mean, now also to piggyback on that comment, to us common everyday people, America and Wall Street are two different things. To people with money like that, money long like Shaq's feet is, America and Wall Street the same thing, because America a business to them.
Well, America is a business. So is Canada. Technically, they're just corporations that are bought and sold throughout the freaking Federal Reserve and the WEF and the WHO and all the letter companies.
It's not, but that's the funniest thing about it. You have Biden's office touting like, "Oh, we had a 3% drop in the unemployment rate. I'm bringing new jobs." No, you're not. That's just people going back to work post-COVID. That's the same jobs that went out the window when COVID started. I mean, come on, we're not stupid.
No, our biggest complaint here is that it's not that we have a work shortage, we have a labor shortage, which is why we're bringing in immigrants, because people aren't getting off their asses and going back to work.
That's all they really accomplished with that, was scaring a bunch of people to stay at home and not work.
And people realizing they could just watch Netflix and claim they're working.
Hey, I enjoyed that for a while, but then I had to get back to work. It's a lot of people that's just like, I'm not doing it.
But that's the thing. You have now the economy's lopsided, because we not only have a labor shortage, but you got people that don't even want to work anymore because they can't survive on the little bit of money they do make when they do work. I mean, when you can't afford to feed yourself or house yourself, what's the point?
What I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's so much as they can't afford it as they mismanage what they have in their resources.
It's not necessarily mismanagement either. It's not mismanagement. You look at the median income.
Yeah, here's why I will say mismanagement. And I can't speak, like if this is a good example, to put it like for across the water or for across the border. But in any American city, right? Go look at all your drug rehab facilities, and they booming. Full trap houses, full swing effect. That's a whole population of people that for that addiction causes mismanagement.
And I will agree on that aspect, but those numbers haven't changed much in our country from pre-COVID. Like they've gone up a bit because yes, COVID did cause a lot of that situation. So when you go and look at a lot of these homeless camps, that's what's happening. But now it's hit the point that like people, like even me right now, like I have told my boss right now that for him to call me in for 1 day of work because I'm on employment insurance for spring breakup. So in a lot of these companies, between the months of December and like when spring ends, like spring begins, there's no work. You're sitting. So you're on employment insurance. So if they call me in for 1 day of work a week, that screws my employment insurance. So I'm wasting gas to drive into work, which I can't even afford that for the 1 day of work, because that 1 day of work is $500. And then they don't call you in for 2 weeks. So you actually can't afford to even go to work. So it's easier and more cost effective to be like, do not call me in unless you have a minimum of 4 days of work for me.
Okay.
Don't even call me.
Let me touch back on what Max said a while ago about mismanagement. And I'm just going to use this as an example. This is the growth of U.S. home payments, like rent payments, mortgage payments versus the median income. From 1970 to 2020 or 23, the median income has only risen maybe 20%. The cost of housing has risen over 125% over that. It's not just misappropriation of people's resources. The cost of living is going up and everything else is stagnating behind it. And at the same time, corporations are making billions of dollars because of it. Why? Because they're undercutting their employees. The cost of everything's going through the roof. And they're just making money hand over fist now at this point.
No,
why do the employees at McDonald's fighting for $15 an hour? I'll tell you why. Because they can't afford a home. Whereas if you go back to 1990, if you made $7.75 an hour, you not only had a place to live, you had food to eat too, and you actually had a little bit of money left over to go out that night if you wanted to at $7.75 an hour.
No, exactly. But I am going to say this right now from a country that did decide, we need that $15 minimum wage. I agree that people need to be able to make that amount of money. But the minute they did that skyrocketed the cost of everything because the mandatory federal minimum wage was $15. So all across Canada, they had to be making $15 an hour at a base minimum. And then provincially, they could adjust it from there. So when they screeched for that, the cost of everything, including going to just go eat at McDonald's, went up. The cost of fuel started going up. So that was the government's answer to that. And even now, still to this day, I actually have a video on my Facebook of both our finance minister and our prime minister flat out stating that $2,300 a month, they actually showed the apartment, said this is a low-income apartment building for $2,300 a month.
I mean, on that aspect, Scott, you're right. I probably said that a little bit in error. Because when you were just talking about the price of living in housing, that's something even we've been noticing. I remember being a fresh 18 years old, and you could find little cheap efficiency apartments all over for 300, 400, 500 max. Now it's wild. You ain't finding nothing for less than 600, 700. And even then 700 is dicey.
Well, yeah, because you're not getting anything good for that. I know when I was looking at rentals across all of North America, there's people out there that now the cost of renting a room, just renting just a room at somebody's house is going to cost you about $600 because you're people, and they yell about it. They're like, that's too much. I was well, you got to take into consideration the electric bill and all of that. You're only renting a room, so they're going to upcharge that so that they can make all the extra bills. And that $600 still isn't even 50% of the rent. The rent has gone up everywhere insanely, and they keep raising the minimum wage. And they keep saying, because we raised the minimum wage, we're raising rent costs, we're raising food costs. It's never going to reach that.
That's why it's lopsided. They never went up together. They went up separately. So what's going to happen now is if they go up to match the cost of living, all of these companies are going to be like, oh, well, no, we're not making billions of dollars of profit anymore. We have to immediately hike up the prices of everything. Why? Because the government let them get away with it from 1969 to 2024.
Yep.
So until they put guards in place to stop that from happening, it's going to happen here. You've already screwed up the system now. It's completely screwed up. There's nothing you can do to unscrew it up unless you put safeguards in place. Period.
Yep. Because it's just a question and answer, and they keep answering the question with another question, right? And then so they keep answering back and forth, and it's just not working out.
And you know, Susie makes a great point right here. People at McDonald's are making $15 an hour are really the working poor. They are. Because in order to live comfortably, you have to make over $20 an hour now. And that's in order to live comfortably. And when I say comfortably, I'm not talking about, you know, just a roof over your head with a little bit of food in your house to eat. That is poor. Comfortably means being able to watch TV in the afternoon, not having to have 2 or 3 jobs, you know, to make ends meet. That's what comfortably is.
Oh, and then
that's how it should be.
Now everybody has to have a side hustle just to get by.
Do you know how bad it is whenever the going rate is $15 an hour and you still have to have at least 2 jobs in order to make it? $15 an hour when I was 17 years old, I would have been living like a king.
So here's what I'll say. Us two combined, our combined hourly rate is like close to about 45 an hour. I mean, like us combined. And even like on the weeks I get my full, it'll be 40 a week for a paycheck. It'd be a struggle still. So
with me and him, we're at $56 an hour combined if we both were working.
This is a great point right here. It all ramped up when corporate sovereignty was upheld by the Supreme Court, which means corporations can do whatever the hell they want.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so Toledo, Ohio sits on like a riverfront. There's a river up here called the Maumee River. It's a crappy river. It's not even worth remembering. I'm just saying.
It's a crappy river.
It stinks. It's not even worth remembering for real. Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of a transport way through the Great Lakes, whatever. But like there was a big deal in the news a while back ago about like the fact that the Chinese government had the rights to like what they consider waterfront property here. Like, first off, that river stank, so I don't know why y'all glorifying that waterfront, but okay.
They love doing that.
Like, but what caught my attention about that was like the fact that the discussion was like, hey, how does the Chinese government have say about what goes on with land over here? Like, how did they get the rights to that land? Was the question I always wondered.
Here's a funny little tidbit about Canada that I bet you guys never got to hear because right around the time this all came out in our news was when the publication ban came out. So in Canada, they busted, air quotes, busted 5 different police detachments within Canada that are Chinese ran and Chinese owned. They have had visits from our prime minister and from our finance minister. They knew they were there. That's one of the reasons why they're trying to have this man kicked out. But they've shut down these police stations where these people where these Chinese operatives were able to run and control sections of major cities within Canada. They were deporting people looking for Chinese people that were defecting here and like turning their backs on the Chinese government was what they claimed that they were trying to do. That's why they were set up here.
It's Canada. There's nothing up there anyway. It's fine.
That's why how the Chinese have a certain say in what's going on because they've been. I guarantee there's little ones down there too.
They say once you pledge to the code of Hong Kong, there's no going back.
They'll come hunt you down. Go leave the country. They'll come find you.
I think one of the funniest things to watch, though, is watching China's middle class actually come up. Because, I mean, these guys are running around looking like us right now. And all of us are going broke and losing everything. And the Chinese people are like, hey, we have all the manufacturing facilities here. Screw y'all.
They cut the middleman out. America's
don't get your Amazon packages no more because they all come from China.
Yeah, they all come from China. Half of them are stuck on the boat that ran into the bridge a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, your back ordered parts are sitting there.
Good thing
Poor
I'm
Max
a driver.
is not going to have nothing to do next week. All of the shipments are going to run out. All of the sea cans are still sitting on the boat.
That means I get to take my time on my route.
It's the 90s again, but the China version.
Oh, China in the 90s was
only if I get a fortune cookie with every meal. Why are fortune cookies so addicting?
I don't know. I don't eat mine when I get them with my Chinese food. I just crack them open and laugh at my fortune.
Anymore, I just want Chinese food for the fortune cookie because the food been messing my stomach up. I can't do it no more.
Oh, those MSGs Chinese? Just messing with you?
Man, listen. Last 2 times we had Chinese, I had to take multiple trips to drop some little illegitimates off at the pond.
Wow. That's TMI, Max. That's no. You really think that's what's on that boat? Is that what it is?
What if it's the sex robots?
Oh,
AI
there's going to be a lot of angry, desperate men out there.
AI sex robots.
That's why Harsh is grumpy. Just kidding. His sex doll didn't come yet.
Yes, it was high end. Very.
Somebody's mail order bride is stuck over there.
I've been trying to get Mikey to buy one from the Ukraine. I told him they should be pretty cheap by now. I remember that was like a big thing at one point. Mail order brides from the Ukraine.
I was just about to say it gives a whole new meaning to mail order brides.
Did you read Hoey's comment, Max?
Here you go.
Whoa.
No, he's he was.
I don't know what the. Oh,
he was
never
sending
mind.
Out.
I got it. And y'all wonder.
I don't. Oh, never mind.
Look, I'm just saying. Look, the word Yankee got all types of weird meanings to it. Right there, go another way.
Judging by the meltdown we had on here last week, I would say that's definitely a true statement.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what this is referring to, but I'm going to read it anyway. Huhamba.
Oh, no.
No, not he was spreading his seed around town, Hoey.
Oh, Hoey thought I said Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, he took that meaning quite literally.
Oh, smash.
Oh, y'all be special little creatures.
Me precious.
A Huhamba is a sex Roomba.
Oh, God.
Is it round? Does it look like a Roomba?
So it's a vacuum that'll also not just suck the floors, but do you really want that? Doing that? Do you really want to share your floor cleaner with your
the gawk devil? Harsh.
So is it like a Roomba? Is a sex Roomba like a Roomba with a fleshlight attached to the top of it? Is that how that works?
Is it a Hoover? Are you just trying to make a Hoover sound fancy?
I'm pretty sure somebody probably took the insert out of a fleshlight and stuck it in the end of a vacuum cleaner already.
Yeah, have you seen the Roombas? They're little round discs, like.
I'm sure Robert has seen dirtier. Robert's not. Where is Robert? I haven't seen Robert today.
So somebody check in with him, make sure he's all good.
Robert Manilow, if you're listening, Please check in, sir. Leave him alone when he's cleaning his room. Like Officer Doofy. I'm cleaning my room. Oh, jeez. Now this conversation went south quick. Paging Dr. Walker. See,
Dr.
he's one of those numbers that's up there at the top of the screen. He's one of those numbers at the top of the screen. He's just scared. That's what it is. I think it's Max's fault.
Oh, I'll take the blame.
All right, cool. Max, you want to take us out? Because I don't even know what to say right now. I just give up.
So this has been an improv edition of the Mosh Pit. Unlike our friend Harsh Med, I do not have words of wisdom to impart with you tonight. We'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, cool.
No
have a great night.
buzz.
We're gonna stay live for a minute on the radio side, so we'll see you there.